Have you ever wondered what the biggest secret in all of biology is? I mean, what's the one thing that connects every single living organism on this planet? From a giant whale to the smallest germ, there's a fundamental rule that unites us all. And today, we're gonna unlock it.
So let's just start with a question. What do you have in common with a massive redwood tree? Or, I don't know, a tiny little ant scurrying across the sidewalk? For literally thousands of years, this question was a total mystery. The answer, it turns out, is pretty simple, but the journey to figure it out, well, that was a complete game changer for science.
You see, for most of human history, our understanding of the world was really just limited to what we could see with our own two eyes. We could see the whole plant or the whole animal, sure, but the microscopic machinery that actually made it alive, that was totally invisible to us.
But then, in the 1600s, this one piece of technology came along and changed everything. The microscope. And it didn't just let us see smaller stuff. It literally opened up an entire hidden universe that no one knew existed. It was about to change biology forever. So let's go back to 1665. There's this English scientist, Robert Hooke, and he's one of the first people to really explore with this new tool. He wasn't on some grand quest to find the secret of life or anything. He was just a curious guy looking at a boring old slice of cork from a bottle. But what he saw, well, it unknowingly kicked off a scientific revolution.
Hooke wrote that he saw it was all perforated and porous, kind of like a honeycomb. And you know what those little boxes reminded him of? These small rooms that monks lived in, which were called cells. And that's it. That's where we got the name. He had no idea what these things were, but he gave them a name that stuck.
So Hooke had found the very first piece of this enormous puzzle. But it wasn't going to be solved overnight. Nope. It would take almost 200 more years and a whole bunch of different scientists building on each other's work to finally see the big picture.
And you can really see it here. Look at these dates. We jump from 1665 all the way to the 1830s. It goes to show you that science isn't usually some big eureka moment. It's slow. It's this long, collaborative process of people adding one little discovery on top of another.
Okay, so let's fast forward almost 200 years to 1838. Microscopes are way better now. A German botanist named Matthias Schleiden is looking at tons of plant samples, and he has a realization. Hooke's cells weren't just in cork. They were in every plant. He was the one who said, hey, I think all plants are built out of these things.
And right here is where things get really interesting. The very next year, Schleiden's buddy, Theodor Schwann, who studied animals, hears about this. And he's looking at animal tissues under his microscope and sees the exact same structures. He makes this incredible connection. Wait a minute, this isn't just a plant thing. Animals are made of cells too. So between the two of them, Schleiden and Schwann gave us the first two main ideas of what we now call cell theory. Number one, every living thing is made of cells. And number two, the cell is the most basic fundamental unit of life itself. This was a huge leap.
But there was still a problem. Their amazing work left one giant nagging question totally unanswered. It was the missing link, the final piece of the puzzle.
I mean, think about it, right? If a tree is made of cells and it gets bigger, where do the new cells come from? Do they just appear? For a while, that's kind of what some people thought, based on a really old idea. Yeah, the old idea was called spontaneous generation. People used to believe that life could just pop into existence from non-living stuff, like flies appearing from rotting meat. But as microscopes got even better, scientists started to see something wild. They could actually watch living cells split in two to make new cells. The new evidence was showing the old idea had to be wrong. So the final nail in the coffin came in 1855. A German doctor, Rudolf Virchow, summed up all the new evidence and made this bold and totally correct statement. He famously said, omnis cellula e cellula. It's Latin for every cell from a pre-existing cell. Life doesn't just happen, it comes from other life. And just like that, the third and final piece of the puzzle clicked right into place. The work that started way back with Hooke and was carried on by Schleiden, Schwann, Virchow, and so many others had finally come together. It formed one of the absolute cornerstones of modern biology. So here it is, the whole shebang, the three simple but incredibly powerful rules of cell theory. This is the big takeaway. 1. All living things are made of cells. 2. Cells are the basic unit of life. And 3. The final piece,
All cells come from other cells that already exist.
Now, it's really important to get what theory means in science. It's not like, oh, I have a theory about who stole the cookies. A scientific theory is a huge, well-tested explanation that's backed up by mountains of evidence and experiments. And let me tell you, cell theory is about as solid as they come.
So why should you care about this? Well, literally everything we know about modern medicine, about how diseases work, how your body heals a cut, even our understanding of DNA and genetics, it all stands on the foundation of cell theory. It affects almost every part of your life.
And that, of course, leaves us with one last epic question. If every cell has to come from another cell, what about the very, very beginning? Where on Earth did that first cell come from? And that is a puzzle scientists are still trying to solve today, which just goes to show you the journey of discovery never really ends.